Yeah, you're back. We're back. It's the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John.
I thought you were going to use the song to kind of bring us back in. Like
I thought I was going to, but the timing was all off. I don't know how Doug. Now I have a newfound respect for Doug doing it. All right, you're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. Special guest, Kier Chapman, Mr. Sports, on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Cruz hometown station. You know, listening to that song got me thinking about one of the conversations we were having earlier. I have to go see him before he dies.
Tom Petty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Prince passing away got me thinking about all the music acts that you have to go see before they die.
I mean, Tom Petty used to do like a lot of drugs, so I mean, who knows how?
And he never looked good.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Who knows how?
Never ever looked good.
I don't want to predict anyone's death on the radio.
No, I don't want
that alone.
I don't want to. Although, if I were think about that,
if you were a betting man,
you're a 65-year-old musician.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, with a nice, good, long rock career, and you've kind of been on the sidelines for a little bit. I'm trying to think like who, and you decide to go out on tour, kind of call it your death tour.
Your death. So like a farewell, like
a farewell
tour in sports, but like. Yeah. I might die, so...
Yeah. Well, it is Willie Nelson's birthday. Is 83 today.
Is he really?
Yes.
Wow.
I would go see him in concert.
I mean, he does some drugs, too, but...
You think? He probably will be well-preserved.
That's true.
I would imagine he'd be well-preserved. But, yeah, no, okay, so you got Tom Petty. You got to see how the Rolling Stones will never... I mean, some of those guys are older than dirt and have been, what was the expression, rode hard and put away wet, like a horse?
Right.
I mean, they're just, they've
never
been
heard
through
that
an
before.
Awful lot. Oh, yeah.
Us millennials don't know about those sayings.
Oh, God, the millennial thing again. All right, so the millennials, they like the NFL, right?
Yeah, of course. It's fair.
I walked into a bar last night.
Is this a joke?
Shall remain nameless. No, it's actually, it should be a joke. I should come up with a punchline. But I wanted to watch the overtime period of the Capitals game.
Okay.
I used to work for the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
Big, massive hockey fan. I do not think we're going to win the series. I think it may go 6. I don't think it's going to go 7. The Penguins are way too fast for us, and we're not scoring a whole lot.
I guess, you're not going to get a hat trick every single game.
We're not getting a hat trick every single game.
Yeah.
But, we do have the hot goalies. So I want to say we're going to win, but I can't say it.
You don't want to jinx yourself?
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet.
Okay.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not buying into it yet.
Yeah.
But I walk in to the bar, and I'm thinking, awesome. They've got this one particular bar in Santa Clarita. I won't say what it is. I'm not going to give it a free plug.
Good for you.
But I'm at Big Wangs all the time. Anyway, so I walk into the sports bar, and sure enough, they've got 4 TVs over the bar. 3 TVs over the bar.
Right.
One is on a trivia game.
Those are cool.
Okay, which are fun. I like playing trivia. It's kind
like
of
Game Show Network.
And no, it was you get the little console and you can play trivia.
Gotcha.
And the other 2 are on the NFL draft. And one TV in the corner is on a Stanley Cup hockey playoff game in overtime.
Wow.
What does that tell you?
The NFL. I don't know why people love to watch the NFL draft so much. It's watching people sitting around making decisions and seeing if like kids get employed or not. It's weird.
There was 17 minutes left 17 minutes, 3 minutes into the overtime period.
Right.
Finally, I'm going, guys, can we change the channel? It's pick 25. Who cares?
Right.
And finally, they agreed to change the channel, but they kept the sound on the draft.
Oh, okay.
Then finally, with about 10 minutes left.
If if the Kings and the Ducks aren't in the playoffs anymore, then we're not. LA's no longer a hockey
town.
Only when it benefits us is it a hockey state.
No, that's poor sports.
It's what it is.
It's true, and I get it.
And that's how I feel like that's how a lot of LA sports are. If we're in it, we love it. If we're not in it, then okay, we'll still pay attention, but we don't love it as much.
I think that's going to be interesting to see how that translates with the Rams. Do you think that's going to decrease the popularity of the NFL when everybody here is transient, number one, it seems like. And even if you are, for so long, even if you are not transient and you're a native,
right?
You didn't have a team to root for, so you're not going to care.
Well, I think the old LA Rams fans are going to come back.
They're coming back?
I think so. I think we've been waiting for a team to... I'm not an LA Rams fan. I was alive but I was really young, so I don't really remember them being here the first time. But I know there's got to be a lot of people like I'm glad that the LA Rams are coming back.
Okay, but are you going to give up your Patriots allegiance?
No, but I mean I will like what the Rams are doing. I won't be like, oh, I hate the Rams. Like,
okay.
I'll like what they're doing. If they succeed, I'll feel good, but I'm not going to like go out of my way to watch them.
The big thing is that I don't think they're going to succeed for a while.
No, I don't either.
And then what happens? Does just the novelty wear off?
And that's the problem with LA sports is it a novelty to the elite status that show up? Like you see film. I can't even remember his name right now. Yeah, but you see celebrities at games.
Oh yeah.
And that's like kind of the big draw. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to a big game. I'm gonna see Jack Nicholson. That's
Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
You're gonna go see Jack Nicholson at a Lakers game. Billy Crystal at a Clippers game.
Yeah.
Maybe like one person saying that, but someone's going to see Billy Crystal at the Clippers game. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like maybe Mrs. Crystal, just to check up on him, make sure he's actually doing it. Yeah, I heard something interesting. I was listening to Sports Talk Radio, not this radio station. I apologize.
That's okay.
But it was music in the morning, so I didn't want to listen to music. And they were talking about the Olympics in 2024. Because LA is putting a bid for the Olympics, and I'm like,
we're getting a new stadium, so
we're getting a new stadium. You could have the new stadium for the opening and closing ceremonies.
Right.
You put the track back at the Coliseum, and you run track at the Coliseum. That's iconic. And by then, maybe SC will have come up with some sort of way to improve it. Maybe put in some boxes or something.
Yeah.
And then you got
stadium's always a draw, though.
And then you got Staples Center for that stuff.
For like the basketball tournament.
Yeah.
Staples, that'd be huge.
So then here's a question for you: the host city gets to add 3 sports.
Add 3 sports just like randomly.
Randomly.
What 3 sports should we add?
What 3 sports should we add?
Is there a dodgeball?
Dodgeball would be good.
Dodgeball would be fun.
Dodgeball would be good, but that's kind of like team handball, isn't it?
I don't care. It'd be fun.
How about 3-on-3 basketball?
I don't know. I feel like no matter what basketball we do, we're going to dominate because we have all.
Oh, we get an extra gold medal then.
That's fair. I mean, we always get a nod anyway.
Horse, It doesn't matter. We're getting something where we're going to be good at it.
What about like regular polo, like where you ride the horses?
Oh, I think that actually was an Olympic sport.
Was it really?
I think it was.
Huh.
That'd be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is that count as animal cruelty nowadays?
Is that horse hockey? Oh, that was actually pretty good. I made that up. That's yeah. Anyway,
okay. What other random sport? Ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate frisbee could be that's one. Driving the freeways.
Driving the freeways.
That's the sport.
It's like NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah. NASCAR would be one. NASCAR.
We're winning.
That's it.
We've just named sports that we, especially like California, would win. California would destroy at Ultimate Frisbee. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Ultimate Frisbee, NASCAR, and 3-on-3 basketball.
Oh yeah,
that's 3 gold medals for
America's
the US.
getting gold medals right there.
America needs a gold medal. That's
actually, I don't know. I bet Australians are super good at Ultimate Frisbee. They're tough.
Oh,
they're tough.
That is true. That's true.
I wouldn't want to meet an Australian.
Can we go back to like tug of war?
Oh, that would be cool.
I don't know. That'd be cool. It'd be like ready to go, and the rope just kind of sits there because both sides are pulling equally.
That's true.
It'd
be a waiting game.
Wouldn't be a great spectacle. It's like having front row tickets to synchronized swimming because all you see is like legs and heads bobbing up and down. You get to see the whole picture. But all right, so let's talk NFL draft.
All right.
Before we get started, I've got a very important question. Are there any videos on your social media that we should be looking at before we determine whether you can be Mr. Sports?
No, because if you really had done your research, you would have found it by now.
Oh, okay, good. Because oh my gosh, I could not imagine. Here you are. Okay, so we're talking about Laramie Tunsil. This guy.
That was nice of you to fill everyone else in.
Well, it's our conversation. Yeah. I'm just listening. This guy, the day before the draft, his social media account gets hacked.
You say that in quotes, but I believe you actually believe it was hacked.
I don't believe. Well, if it was hacked, this guy's history is not altar boyish.
No.
Okay.
He's a college kid.
He's worse than a college kid.
All right.
He's being sued. I don't remember all the details of the lawsuit, but it's like $2 million. He got into a domestic violence situation with his stepdad.
Right.
There was another Ole Miss player who is about to be drafted or was drafted. I didn't see the end of the draft yesterday. Too busy watching the Capitals game when they changed the channel finally. But the guy who fell out, almost like the USC safety, fell out of an apartment, a 4-story apartment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember where they got drafted, but he was with him. They were partying together.
Okay.
And then there's the 2 infamous videos. The first one where he was interviewed, and it was like, "Did you take money from a coach?" "Yeah." "What for?" "Well, I took money from to pay my mom's electric bill."
And then he got quickly taken off the stage.
Yes.
It
was
fast.
very quick. And then the other video where with him wearing a gas mask bong is the only way to describe it.
And you described it perfectly.
And smoke coming out, and you knew exactly what he was doing.
Right.
And that gets leaked because his Facebook page got hacked.
Right.
I'm thinking his stepdad did it.
Probably.
And is trying to it cost him I mean, everything. The first round is slotted now, so he was supposed to go probably 3 or 4.
Right.
I know the Ravens were talking about him at 4 or 5. And he got drafted by the Dolphins. The Dolphins. Oh yeah, this is a good pick for us. Really? There won't be any impedance. There's no undue influence to party in South Beach. No way.
And Miami's just not very great at
He should have gone to Green Bay.
They took someone from UCLA though, which is nice.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But not Miles Jack. But anyway, yeah. Miami never seems like I think they're still waiting on Ryan Tannehill to become that franchise quarterback, which I don't think is ever going to happen.
This is a guy who's probably got the talent to be one of the best offensive linemen in the league.
Right.
But I don't know. You can imagine he's going to get into the locker room.
Can you work past the distractions?
And he's going to start being a bully. Oh, wait a minute. They've already done that. He'll probably be out of the league with drugs. It's sad. And I'm sure hopefully they did their due diligence.
Well, that's what there's a quote by Jack Del Rio where he said, like, if the videos you find shocking, we've already seen. Like, we've done so much extensive research on these people.
Okay.
We've already seen all the things that you are going to find that are going to be shocking. Because that video was on his Instagram, on his account, so they have seen it. And there's a lot, if you're good, there's a lot you can get away with. And I think that's one of them. Smoking weed, like, that's the least of their concern. They're making it a bigger concern with, like, Josh Gordon, the people that have been, like, suspended for an entire year because of weed drug abuse. But it's really, it's not as big as, like, domestic violence, I would say.
Domestic violence,
that should be focused on that one.
Ray Rice, you're not going to be in the league anymore.
Right.
Which is, it's sad for Ray Rice because I think he realized what he did. And I mean, there comes a time when you have to say
more remorse.
You have to say there comes a time when you show the proper remorse that you can say, okay, well, we're going to forgive.
Right.
We're not going to forget. There's heightened scrutiny.
Right.
But we're gonna let you move on with your life a little bit. And
he's shown more remorse than Greg Hardy, who got another chance to play. Greg Hardy has been very flippant about his whole...
you'll find me innocent. Yeah. And
he wasn't, and he paid her off to go away, and like all these gross things. And he's out of the league now, but he got a year with the Cowboys out of it, even after everything had come to light and come to pass. Whereas Ray Rice, he's shown more remorse. What he did was wrong. I wouldn't really call it a mistake because you know what you're doing in the moment.
No, he knew what he knew what he did. He admitted to it. And he was like,
he's been showing remorse. It's also just a matter of I don't think he's that great anymore.
No, I think he's old. That's the problem.
Right.
He got old fast.
Exactly.
So, but you did mention Miles Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Microfracture surgery to the knee. That's huge.
And
people don't come back from that very well.
Right. And his agent. No, not his agent, but some scouts were saying before the draft, like, oh, this could be, like, it could either hold up forever or it could just go and he'll never play again.
Right.
And his agent quickly denied that, and teams were like, oh, yeah, we'll still draft him, and then no one has drafted him yet.
Yeah, well, that's a gamble in the first round.
Right.
That's a massive gamble.
But he does have an insurance policy, like a $5 million insurance policy for falling out of the first round if he falls to the 45th or more. So he'll have to fight the insurance company, of course, but he stands to make like $5 million plus an extra $65,000, I believe, after every pick after the 45th.
He should just hang out with Laramie and get shoot out videos of him smoking or something. I mean,
he's gonna make money either way. That's the amazing thing about this whole situation.
And the problem is, I've heard some of the scouting reports just from an athletic standpoint. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal. I mean, could start at running back, but is happy running down running backs and playing linebacker.
See, I want him on the Patriots because that's the kind of versatility that Bill Belichick usually drafts for.
That is true.
He can play safety, he can play linebacker, he can rush the passer, he can be goal line situation, tight end, running back. He
can be anything.
Amazing versatility, and I'm hoping that the Patriots trade up because I don't think he's going to fall to where they are. But I hope
he may be in the third round.
You think so?
I as much as I hate to say it, probably, because if you think about it, you're going to draft the first round slotted, so I didn't think he was going to go first round,
right?
Because it's too big of a risk.
Yeah.
Maybe towards the end of the second round, depending upon who's there and what the needs are, because there's too many the bad teams with a good first round pick. Maybe Cleveland with all their picks.
I'm saying Vikings because they love their UCLA linebackers. They got Anthony Barr, they got Eric Kendricks, and then
that's true too.
Add Miles Jack to the equation, you have.
It's
a UCLA trio that I don't think can be beat at linebacker.
Yeah, well, you're probably right, but it could be. Those teams, the first part of the second round, seem to have a lot more holes, and immediate holes to fill than taking a flyer.
Right. Yeah.
But he's good enough to take a flyer on in the second round for some of the late teams.
Yeah.
Teams that draft. Once again, the Redskins, the best athlete available. We've got holes just about everywhere. And we draft our wide receiver. Okay, great. I'm good with that. If you're good with that, I'm starting to trust again.
Really?
The Josh Norman pickup was huge for the Redskins.
That's true.
I mean, filled a need, opened the draft up to best person available. I would have preferred the center. He went a couple the guy from Alabama. I think.
I can't remember the name.
Or defensive tackle would be huge, but you can get good defensive tackles in the second and third rounds. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's go back to the Rams. Mm-hmm. Not a big fan of that trade to move up.
I wrote an entire article about how I was not a fan of that.
I don't disagree with you. But I do think that they did have to make a move, and they did have to make some sort of gamble.
Yeah.
So now, just looking at it, okay, we're past the fact. They did have to make that move. They did have to make some sort of gamble. I'll give you that one. It sells tickets. It makes people excited about the team. We were talking about the Rams before the draft,
right?
Which is unusual for LA anyway.
Exactly.
But they had first on the board, and they had their choice of just about anybody.
Yeah.
And let's go. They had to take a quarterback. Okay?
That's true.
I don't think there's any question. Once they make that trade, they have to take a quarterback.
Right.
I don't know whether they picked the right one.
I mean, I was reading that Jared Goff has the worst starting record of a first overall pick ever. Like he has a losing record.
Yeah, he's also not on a very good team. So you're drafting for potential, but I get that. But it's kind of like everybody. I heard the comparison. He's Matt Ryan.
Really?
And I'm like, he's Matt Ryan? Okay, that's good. Matt Ryan was okay when he got in the league.
Yeah, no,
and then they drafted Julio Jones. And Matt Ryan got considerably better.
Right.
I don't see how they're going to get a Julio Jones with no draft picks.
No, they have. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to get a top tier wide receiver for at least another 2 years.
They're going to have a great running back.
Right.
He can hand off the ball an awful lot.
Which is good for a good rookie quarterback to learn. But at the same time, how much of it is potential, and that potential's got to kind of cash in really quick, because I believe they're going to play Case Keenum to start anyway.
As they should. Do you remember the days when, I go back when I was growing up, it was the Redskins, and it was like Sonny Jurgensen and Billy Kilmer, and then it was like Mark Rippon was holding the clipboard for those guys, for Joe Theismann, and we knew we had, Rippon was a good quarterback, and he stayed on the bench for 2 or 3 years learning the system.
That's what Aaron Rodgers did,
That's what Aaron Rodgers did. I think he's the last one that kind of did that. I don't think Brady did really.
No, he did. He was a 6th round pick.
I know, but how long?
He was kind of forced into playing.
Yeah, it was after 6 games. I thought. Was it his first year or second year?
Second year. He had an entire year of watching Drew Bledsoe. Okay. Then Drew Bledsoe got injured. And all that.
And then the rest is history. Inflated history, but history all the same.
Nice.
I had to say it.
It was really subtle. I had to bring that up. I'll pretend like it was.
I had to bring that up. Yeah, reinstated 4-game suspension. Wow.
I don't even want to touch that one. It's just power play by the NFL to not look bad.
Really?
Yeah. There's so much scientific evidence that shows how the air just affects the inflation of the balls.
But once again, I think this falls into millennials not understanding history. The cover-up is always worse than the crime.
But what cover-up?
Tom throwing his phone away, not producing it.
If someone asked you for your phone just to go through it, even though other people have already looked at your phone.
If someone's accusing you of doing something wrong, would you destroy your phone? Yeah.
I don't want people getting my phone if I'm in that level of fame. They could go through and find anything.
If you're accused of some wrongdoing, and you producing your phone is going
because you're accused, automatically you have to give up your own personal...
You're accused by your employer of doing something wrong, and you could lose your job or get with a severe economic impact.
Right.
Okay, which of course... Interestingly enough, he restructured his contract recently to make the economic impact of those first 4-game suspensions considerably less than it would normally be.
I mean, you're a lawyer. You probably know how the gist of a case is going before. You probably know when you're going to lose, when you're going to win, and all that stuff.
But I think he could have done, from a public relations standpoint, a much better job of acting like he was innocent, regardless of whether he was or not.
I just think that if you're accused of something, you don't automatically have to give up your own personal rights.
No.
Especially when he's such a high-profile thing that that anyone...
Patriot apologies.
Yeah. You got one on your show right now.
Wow, this is pretty impressive.
But I have a lot of rationalities for how this
and we should be able to... and the Patriots should be allowed to videotape everybody else's practices.
That was never
That's good
founded.
for the league.
That was never founded.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was so unfounded, it's ridiculous.
All right, so let's go back to Carson Wentz.
Oh, so we're going back to the draft.
We're going back to the draft, yeah.
We won't fight anymore.
Because there's no way that you're ever going to come to the realization that I'm right.
I'll fight you to the tooth and nail on this one.
Which is entertaining for me, but nobody else. All right,
exactly.
Going back to the Rams, I think they made a mistake. They should have picked Carson Wentz.
I guess if you're drafting on pure potential, you go for the person who has, one, a winning record, even if it's against lesser competition, and two, has a more NFL, I'd say, ready quarterback body.
He's got a decent. Okay. To me, the NFL now is a mid-range passing game.
Right.
It's no longer short range. It's no longer the dink and dump like the California offense and the spread and everything.
Right.
It's now a little bit more of a controlled down the field. Remember the old Raiders? We throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
The Al Davis thing. And I don't know I think Goff's got a decent long ball, but he's got nothing in mid-range, and I think he's not very mobile.
Right. Carson Wentz had like 6 rushing touchdowns in an injury-shortened season.
Yeah, he's Joe Flacco, but not the maple tree that Joe Flacco is back there. Flacco he doesn't move. He's like Ben Roethlisberger. He does not move, and he does not go down.
Right.
He's
got an arm. He's got a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, and I think Carson Wentz could be Flacco with.
He could be.
He could also be Donovan McNabb, which is
not
huge
a bad
for Philly.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, they loved Donovan. Well, they loved Donovan. I don't know how much they still love him, but they loved him back then.
Should we talk basketball real quick?
Yeah, real quick.
Clippers are done.
Clippers are done.
How long until we see the Warriors? Cleveland in the finals again.
I guess however long it takes. Like, I don't think they're going to sweep all their series.
So probably about like
a
4 or 5 more months.
Yeah.
It seems like doesn't they go on forever?
It takes a while.
Okay.
Like the first round's still going on.
When will it end?
It never ends.
Soon, June, I think, right?
But then there's the Olympics, so you're going to get the Olympic basketball. It's never going to end.
It's never going to end.
Basketball never ends, man.
Never going to end. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sports.
No problem.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. This has been fun. Doug will be back next week. Who knows what we'll be talking about then. But until then, you've been listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John and Mr. Sports on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Cruz hometown station. We'll be back next week.